Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Consultant, and what I'd like to do today is to show you all what the differences are between my Coca-Cola 2021 financial report and my Coca-Cola 2021 beginner's guide. So the way the video is going to play out is, first and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and give you all a little bit of background about me, who I am, what I do, and why I do it. From that point, I'm going to then compare and contrast my Coca-Cola, the two different reports that I write for Coca-Cola, and hopefully this information is going to give you all enough information to make an informed decision as to whether my financial report or the beginner's guide will best suit your needs when researching Coca-Cola's financial statements and financial ratios. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and zip through this little PowerPoint presentation. So as promised, a little bit about me. Again, Paul Borosky, owner of Quality Business Consultant. I do write about 15 to 20 financial reports yearly, and I've been doing it for the last 5 or 6 years. So if you're interested in Coca-Cola's financial report, or if you're interested in any other company's financial report, you can visit me at this link right here. Also, I am a published author on Amazon.com. One of my most popular books is Beginner's Guide to Understanding Financial Statements and Financial Ratios. So if you're interested in some general understanding of financial statements and ratios, definitely a good book to check out. And then finally, I am an adjunct professor and subject matter expert in finance, so I do know a thing or two and have some education backing up my thoughts and ideas for my financial analysis. All right, so as promised, I do offer 2 Coca-Cola reports. One is the Beginner's Guide to Financial Analysis, and the other one is the financial report itself and financial analysis. Pretty much the biggest difference is that for my financial report, I'm going to provide y'all with more in-depth analysis as compared to the Beginner's Guide. But let me go ahead and show you, give you some examples. All right, so in both reports, the Coke's Beginner's Guide as well as the financial report, I do provide a summarized income statement for Coke for the last 5 years. And also, both reports I'm going to go ahead and break down, what revenues are and the different line items for each for the income statement. And I'll do that for both reports, and I'll talk about the revenues, give you all the definition of the different line items, and then some analysis tips for revenues as well as other popular line items in the income statement. However, in the financial report, I do provide you all with the revenues again, and then I'll give you all some kind of additional metrics to compare it to. For this example, I compare it to revenue growth. And then I'll also provide you all with a brief analysis, identify a trend or two in regards to the most popular line items in the income statement. All right, the next section for both reports is going to be the balance sheet, and I do provide a summarized balance sheet for Coca-Cola in both reports. And again, for both reports, I'm going to go ahead and break down the most important line items for each report for the balance sheet. For example, I'll talk about cash, and I'll give you some analysis tips when trying to analyze a cash position for an organization. However, in the financial report that's not included in the beginner's guide, I'll go ahead and compare cash with different metrics. For this example, compare it to percent of sales or percent of total assets. And then I'll also give you all an analysis. I'll give you all some of my thoughts and ideas about the trends for that particular line item. And for this illustration, it's in reference to cash. And then I'll give you an analysis grade. I'll tell you all how the company is performing based on competitors in my experience. The third and final section that is included in both my beginner's guide and the financial report is going to be the financial ratios. The financial ratio calculations that I include are going to be for liquidity, asset ratios, profitability ratios, and debt ratios. And the way the financial ratio segment works out is for each category of ratios, for example, liquidity ratios, I'll provide you all with the formula of how the ratio will calculate it. So in this example, the current ratio, current assets divided by current liabilities, and so on. And then also on the same, from both reports, I'll provide you all with the calculated ratios, the current ratio, cash ratio, quick ratio, net working capital, and so on. For most of the ratios, for about, I'd say 12 to 15 of the ratios that I do calculate, I will provide you all with an in-depth analysis or a just, beginner's analysis for that ratio. For example, I'll talk about the actual ratio. I'll provide you all with the formula, and then I'll give you a different perspective on how to understand the ratio. And then finally, I'll give you all some tips and tricks as to what you should be looking for when you're analyzing that particular ratio. And then for the financial report that is not included in the beginner's guide, I will go ahead and give you all the actual calculations, so current assets, and then I'll show you the numbers that I use. And then again, I'll provide you all with the current ratio. And then finally, in the financial report that's not in the beginner's guide, I'll give you an analysis of the most important ratios in my perspective, identify some trends, and give you some thoughts and ideas about it. All right, so hopefully that information was helpful. And if you'd like to purchase my Coca-Cola Beginner's Guide 2021 or the Coca-Cola Financial Report for 2021, both can be looked at and purchased on this website right here, this link. All right, hopefully this information was helpful. As always, go out and have a great day. Thank you.